Lend a hand in return for grace. It's a beautiful day.
Well, it's no surprise life is busy, right? Well, between trying to juggle your family and your professional life, quality time with your kids can sometimes be put on the back burner. But with just 15 minutes a day, you can connect with your family and get everybody on the right track. Rebecca Cohen is the author of the book, 15 Minutes Outside, 365 Ways to Get Out of the House and Connect with Your Kids. And she's here today to talk with us. Hi, Rebecca. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
So the whole idea here is to get outside with your family.
It really is about bringing more joy into your everyday life. And we all have at least 15 minutes a day to do that, don't we?
So how did you, I mean, you wrote this book. Inside, you kind of break it down month by month and give the readers tons and tons of ideas of what you can do with your kids.
It's month by month.
Any time of the year.
Any time of the year. There's a lot of gardening in there, so it takes out the mystery of knowing what to do when. And it really is not only a compilation of 365 ways, fun and easy ways that you can spend time together as a family, but it also gives you a glimpse into how I got outside, 15 minutes outside, at least, every single day, and what impact that's had on my family.
Well, what was your motivation for writing this?
When my son, my older son, he's 8 now, when he was 4 years old, we went to a birthday party at a local park. And he looked up at the trees and he said, "Are we in the forest, Mommy?" Oh. And I realized, as a busy working mom, my husband and I both had demanding corporate jobs, that his perspective was completely different than mine on what a forest was and what big trees were like. And we lived in an area where there really weren't a lot of mature trees. And I started realizing that it wasn't the type of experience that I wanted him to have. I wanted him to be able to experience nature every day, and with me too.
And so your next step was to take him out to the real forest, right? And say, "No, honey, this is the real forest."
We would go hunting for trees in our neighborhood. Take the time that you do have kind of coming in and out of your house every day. We'd tinker around in the garden, play in the sandbox on Saturday mornings. We started walking to school.
Oh, nice.
And I started writing down all these, fun ways, really memorable moments that we had together, and realizing by noticing the details of nature around us, and playing tag and racing juice boxes in the puddles, that we really could create meaningful time together in the minimal time that we did have together.
Sounds like you have a great imagination.
Oh, thank you.
You're very creative. Now tell us about some of the benefits, because everybody knows it's important to get outside. I mean, for nothing else, it's vitamin D, right? From the sun.
You get vitamin D. It actually has been proven to improve cooperation in children, reduce aggression, and with the benefits of vitamin D, it helps ward off things like heart disease and diabetes later on in life. And with issues like childhood obesity and dwindling recess and PE time, it's up more and more to parents to really figure out how we can bring in a healthy, active lifestyle into our daily lives.
That's right, and the kids are stuck inside, as you say, in school, and just breathing the fresh air outside is probably helpful too, because you're not breathing the same old recycled indoor air.
It puts everybody on a great foot for the rest of the day. And I try to look at ways to bring the outdoors into my daily routine, whether that's walking them to and from school. If you can't do that, you can stop by the park on the way home, have a picnic dinner, rotate snack time outside. There are lots of easy ways to enjoy the outdoors. So
your goal is not to spend hours and hours. You don't have to do that if you don't have the time, but 15 minutes. That doesn't seem like a lot. Were your kids all on board with this when you first started your project?
Half of the team was.
So they were 2 and 4 when you started?
2 and 4 when I started.
They're not going to buck mommy too much at those ages,
exactly.
right?
Well, and what's great is I've experienced over time with the younger one, at 2, pulling weeds in the garden, and he would stay out there till all the weeds were pulled. And my older son, growing his interest in sports. My children, it's actually a parenting tool to get outside as well, because my children will get ready faster in the morning if they know that they have at least 15 minutes outside to play.
Wow. So you even get them out of doors before they go to school in the morning?
We get outside before we go to school, and try it with your kids. I believe me, they will get ready fast in the morning. Lunch is made, dressed, breakfast done to get outside.
Did you have 2 boys?
I do have 2 boys. They are complete opposites, though, I will say. For my older son, when he asks me, "Will you throw the football with me, Mom?" I always say yes. For my younger one, he's more into gardening and cooking with the produce that we bring from our garden and doing art outside. So there's really something for everyone in the outdoors.
All right, so give us some ideas of what we can do with our kids before school in the morning, and then maybe like in the evenings? I mean, times of days when it's probably dark out most of the year.
Sure. Well, you know, I've actually taken 15 minutes in the morning. Mid-March is a great time to plant the first vegetable of the season. We don't really think about it, but in the 40s, when the temperatures are in the 40s and 50s, it's a great time to plant peas. And I literally did that with my kids before school. You can do it in the ground, or you can do it just in a cup with some soil, poke a hole, put a little pea seed, make sure there's a drainage hole in the bottom and a saucer underneath. Put it on a sunny windowsill or outside. But it is so fun to see a pea plant grow. You'll get a sprout in 7 days, but it really gives them an educational experience too that they might not be seeing in the classroom, the actual plant life cycle in action.
So true. And you know, for the parent who's rushing off to work at the same time the kids are rushing off to school, it does give you something that you're doing together early in the day, so you have a place where you're connecting. You
really do. You know, my kids view our outdoor time together as our special time, our special family time. They share more with me than they otherwise would. My children actually are best of friends outside. Indoors, they're always bickering. So it really does make us more connected and gives us some meaningful time together.
And I think we all know how overscheduled our kids are. I mean, in today's world, kids don't really have that free time to be free and unscheduled and just playing out of doors. When I was a kid growing up, my mother would say, go outside and play. And we would go outside and play. And you know, we could do everything from climb trees to skip rocks in a nearby stream, or just, you know, play with the neighbor kids in the yard. So I don't think that today's kids do as much of that.
Well, and because we are so good at scheduling things into our lives, we can schedule 15 minutes at a time. That's certainly very doable. And you know, a lot of us think of an outdoor lifestyle as something that people have, you know, who live in the mountains or who live by the beach. But you know, I consider it just intentionally getting outside to improve your well-being and the well-being of your family in little bits every day. And it's amazing how once you get outside for 15 minutes, your kids will actually ask to stay outside longer.
I'll bet they will, yeah, because they're just beginning to get involved in whatever they're doing outdoors. Now, I want to ask you, because I have a feeling it probably was a little bit harder for you to come up with activities for the month of January than it would be for, say, July. What did you come up with for the cold weather months?
For the cold weather months, you know, I always say to gear up to make sure that you're comfortable. I actually hate being cold, but I love being outside. So, you know, making sure that the kids have appropriate gear, you know, and if you're less inclined, a lot of times it's the parents who don't like to get outside. So as a parent, make sure you've got your long underwear on and your good gear. And, you know, games like tag, you know, very simple things. Actually looking, you can see more hawks and nests in trees with the leaves off the trees, you know, going out on these expeditions together, which don't have to be hours and hours long, but making sure you have appropriate gear on, you're going to stay warm and you're going to want to stay outside longer.
Especially if you're running around playing tag, you're going to stay warmer too.
Exactly.
Well, Rebecca Cohen, great to meet you. The book is called 15 Minutes Outside, 365 Ways to Get Out of the House and Connect with Your Kids. You should check it out if you're a parent. Thanks so much.
Thank you.